Time Machine Theater. My name is Kara. These are my friends Abby and Sadie. And even though we are dressed up in these fabulous costumes, we are not the stars of the show. All of you get a chance to dress up and play a part of our characters. Now, before we begin, we'll introduce you to all of our characters in our story tank, so that way you know which one you like to be. And our story this is the Pirates of Buccaneer Isle. So if you hold your hands up to your ear like this, you can almost hear the sound of pirate music coming all the way from Buccaneer Isle, where all the pirates live. Now these pirates love the color black. They wear black stripes on their shirts, swords, and black sails. Be careful, they also like to go roaming around poking innocent people in the belly, so you watch. The leader of the Buccaneer is the fierce Captain Barnacle. He wears this fancy tri-corn cap and this raspberry lime cape. So if you feel mischievous or like the scallywag today, maybe you want to be a pirate. And now we travel east as the Gulf flies across the Atlantic Ocean to the shining city of London. And there you will find the most beautiful girls in the world, the lovely ladies of London. And each and every morning, these ladies head to the shore in search of seashells and adventure. And in our story today, they will find more adventure than what they bargained for. So if you love looking fabulous or love great adventure, then you might want to be one of the princesses of our story, the lovely ladies of London. And now we head up the River Thames where the Queen's royals bring the lords. Amongst them stands a massive ship called the Flying Pegasus. The Flying Pegasus is led by none other than Captain Cavendish and his crew. The captain and his crew have sailed to the North Pole, to the South Pole, to the islands of Panama, and through the Strait of Magellan. They're also the best sword fighters in all of Great Britain. Do any of you like to sword fight?
Oh, I do.
If so, then you might want to join the captain and his crew aboard the Flying Pegasus.
I do it.
And now we make our way back to the balmy Caribbean, where Henry and Lagoon sun themselves upon the rocks and weaving seashells in their hair live mysterious and enchanting mermaids. When these mermaids sway their arms and wiggle their tails, they sing a lover's learned song. A song so beautiful that any singer who hears it is instantly hypnotized. They'll follow the mermaids back to the lagoon, fall upon their knees, and beg the mermaids to marry them. And you know what the mermaids say? Well, we want to stick around and find out our story. And they're all our characters. Now I've got two quick announcements for everyone. Announcement number one, our show's not just for the young at heart. So grown-ups, we got parts for you to play as well. You can play either Captain Barnacle, Cavendish, and you have moms make excellent, lovely ladies or mermaids. Announcement number two, on the count of 3, run over to your favorite costume trunk. But I need everyone to raise their pinkies for me, because I need you to make me a pinky promise. Repeat after me. I promise not to pick up anything until someone comes to help me. Excellent. Those someones are either myself or one of my 2 friends. We're expert customers and we'll know which one we're picking just right. So as a refresher, the mermaids are on the green, the pirates are on the red, the princesses on the yellow, and our sailors on the blue. So is everyone ready? Make sure you have the listening ears on. 1, 2, 2.5. Move trees.
I'll wait until we're done.
Excellent listening. What? It's full. The leaves are changing. 3. Run on over and we'll help you get dressed.
Don't touch nothing. Harper, don't touch. Puppy, you want to go with Harper? Oh my gosh.
Alrighty then, all those who are already dressed up in their costumes, please return back to your costume trunk from where you got your costumes. Now there's one more cast of characters, and that is you, the audience. You are the Atlantic Ocean. So in our story today, once you hear me say, through hundreds of flying fish, I need you to throw these fishes here towards the center of our carpet. So if anyone wants to throw a fish, put your hand up high, and me and my friends will be over shortly to hand yourself.
The one time Emily hit somebody with a dart while playing darts. Like she must have let go on the pullback.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take it. He said it's been done.
Who wants one? Anyone else want fish?
There yet.
I love my friend. Yep, we are still on. Alrighty then, now we're all ready to begin our story. Let's give our volunteers a round of applause. Now, for those of you who have arrived late, our story this year is the Pirates of Buccaneer Isle. And do you know where our story begins? With the sailors. Come on out here, sailors. Captain Cavendish and his crew have sailed across the globe. I wonder how many. Captain Cavendish, how many times have you circumnavigated the globe? 6 times. 6 times? Wow, that is a massive fleet. All right, sailors, let's turn to the audience and give them a great big bow to thunderous applause. Now you can head back to your ship, the Flying Pegasus. And now it's time to introduce our leading ladies, the lovely ladies of London. Come out here, ladies. And not only are these ladies fabulously dressed, they have the world's most finest manners. And on the count of 3, they will show you the most elegant curtsy. Are you ready, ladies? 1, 2, 3! What lovely curtsies, you ladies. Now you can head back to London with your hearts full of dreams. And now it's time to introduce our next set of ladies, the mystical mermaids. Come on here, mermaids. Isn't that dancing hypnotizing? Mermaids, what do you say if a sailor asks you to marry them? No. What do you say if a sailor asks you to marry them? And you? No. Wow. Let's see. No. Oh, we got one yes. Two. Well, we have a limited number. Let's see if that changes in our story today. All right, mermaids, head back to your lagoon. And now it's time to introduce our last set of characters. Make sure you pinch your noses and give these fellas a big round of a boo for Captain Barnacle and his crew. Oh, don't take it hard, me mateys. That means you're doing an excellent job being pirates. Our story begins with Captain Barnacle calling for an emergency pirate meeting. He said, all right, me mateys, gather around, gather around. We got everything a pirate could ever want, am I right? And all the pirates shouted, "Ah!" We got all the gold. All the fish. What don't we got? the pirates scratched their heads, trying to come up with a plan. When just then, a blue bottle fell from the sky over his head, one of them, and he caught it. Wow, looks like Strong Arm's song was pretty quick. All right, he handed the bottle off to the captain, saying, "Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you send a message in a bottle?" Captain Barnacle said, "Well, you're brilliant idea, you matey. Now, which one do you know your ABCs?" Oh, all right, Swan Mickey, I need you to use the green one here as a writing desk. And repeat after me. Dear lovely ladies, we are a bunch of smelly pirates. How's that sound, crew? No? We are wealthy noblemen of good repute, looking for some ladies to be our brides. Come, join us on our private island. We got all the gold in the bank you could ever want. Come join us on our private island. P.S. Here's the coordinates to Buccaneer Isle. Once they had that all signed, they handed it off to Strong Arm Sam, the strongest pirate in the crew. But then he threw the bottle with all his might into the ocean with a great big splash. The pirates watched as the bottle bobbed upon the waves. When suddenly, Captain Barnacle smacked his head. He said, "Uh-oh, lads, I just remembered. We got dirty dishes piled up. We don't want our brides to think we're slobs. Quick, back to the galley!" The pirates rushed back to the ship and began to scrub the dishes straight away. The bottle drifted down the long Gulf Stream into the Atlantic Ocean. But 3 months later, it landed on the Southern Sea near the shining city of London. The bright and early, the girls were out on the shore collecting seashells. Say, "Ooh, a sandal! Ooh, a big starfish!" When one of the ladies spotted something blue sticking out of the sand. She picked it up and said, "Ladies, gather round! Look what I found!" The ladies all gathered round and she popped the cork and unraveled the message. And once the ladies all saw that wealthy nobleman wanted to marry them, they all jumped for joy. Finally, we have an excuse to go on an adventure. But the girl parents were getting married. Now the ladies turned to scratch their heads. How are they going to get to Buccaneer Isle? It's too far to swim. When the littlest lady in red had the biggest idea, he said, "I know, follow me." So they followed her through the streets of London. They took a left turn at King Albert Way, a right by Queen Victoria Street. They did a double U-turn by Parliament and Big Ben. Until finally they made their way onto Dock Street, where they boarded a gangplank and stayed up with a tall six-mast ship. They knocked upon the cabin doors 3 times. And who should step out? But the brave, the handsome, the not so tall, Captain Cavendish. When the ladies saw the captain, they nearly swooned over backwards. But they caught themselves and politely curtsied to the captain, who bowed in return. He said, "Good evening, ladies. How can I help you today?" The ladies produced the parchment and handed it off to the captain. After they figured out who was in charge of the parchment, they said, "Hold on, let me talk to my crew first." Oh, they got it. Who won when he takes the Buccaneer Isle? The captain spoke to his crew as they all whispered together. But when the sailors got another glimpse of the ladies, their jaws dropped open in astonishment. Never had they seen such beautiful ladies before. They needed to come up with an excuse. They started waving their arms, shouting at the captain, Captain! Don't you remember? You promised us that we got to Florida to see Sherman and play mini-golf. Buccaneer Isle's along the way." The captain turned back to the ladies and said, "Well, ladies, you're in luck. We're going right past there. We'll drop you off. Follow us aboard." So the ladies followed after the captain and his crew to the upper decks of the Flying Pegasus. Once there, the captain shouted orders to his sailors, saying, "Sailors, hoist the sails!" The sailors pulled on big ropes to hoist the sails. "Raise anchor!" They heaved a giant cane, "Raise an anchor!" While the ladies turned to wave to their friends and loved ones on the shore. But they never knew if they would see them again. Now, they soon set sail. The first 3 things of this journey was spectacular. Sparkling swells and gentle breezes. They even went dancing with each other. But suddenly, they all froze. They looked up and saw dark clouds on the horizon. And then it happened. The storm of the century struck the Flying Pegasus. The boat rocked to and fro. Rain crashed in on them. A giant wave crashed into the ship, sending everyone to the port side. And they screamed. Another wave crashed into the ship, sending everyone to the starboard side. And they screamed even louder. Except for this one sailor had perfect balance. Captain shouted, "Quickly, hold on to the mainmast!" Everyone rushed to the mainmast and held on for dear life. When just then a great gust of wind snapped the mast in half, sending everyone overboard. "Quickly," shouted the captain, "run for your lives!" Did the front stroke, did the back stroke? There was no use. They all began to sink down, down, down into Davy Jones's locker. But luckily, a squirrel of mermaids was swimming by. They shouted, "Quickly, follow us! We'll lead you to safety." So the ladies and sailors followed after the mermaids, swimming through tangles of seaweeds and treacherous waters, until finally the sailors and ladies all collapsed onto dry land, coughing and gasping for breath. The mermaids, proud of their good deed, were starting to wiggle back to their lagoon.
Do you and Gigi want to walk over, see the... Want to go see something?
When suddenly, the mermaids
Want to go
stopped.
take a walk?
They turned around, they put their hands on their cheeks, and gasped. But they just realized some of the creatures they just saved are shipwrecked sailors. Well, that's their specialty. So the mermaids wiggled back to the shore. They began to sway their arms and wiggle their tails and sing their lovers' learned song. The song was so beautiful that all the sailors sprung to their feet. The arms stuck out in front of them, and the eyes grew wide, and in a trance, the sailors danced with the mermaids back to the lagoon. And they left the lovely ladies all alone on the beach. And to add insult to injury, Lookout Pete was looking through his trusty spyglass on top of Buccaneer Hill, seeing what the storm had dragged in. He said, "All right, let's see what we got here today, you mateys." All right, hold on, let me find my spyglass. I took it in for cleaning. All right, let's see. I can see from a distance our sandcastle still standing. I see some seaweed, some driftwood. Oh, thank you, guys, for giving me an extra pair of eyes. And there, and everything. Lovely ladies. The giants came. Wait, lovely ladies. Hey, Captain, a ball, shake the book. Our brides have arrived. Quickly, let's go get them. Captain Barnacle said, "Oh, just so your horses laugh, I see we take these ladies up a bit first, so that way we can use our manly smells and piety ways." So all the pirates grabbed a hold of the favorite fisher net and began to sneak down to the other side of the beach. Once there, they crouched down behind a sand dune, ready to pounce. But fortunately for our ladies, luck was on their side, for at that moment, out from the ocean, landing straight on top of them, there were hundreds of flying fish. And a giant Alaskan salmon. The pirates jumped up and hard. The ladies jumped up and screamed. But the ladies were quick. They grabbed the closest fish they could find and started to gently bump the pirates on their heads. Now, these pirates have been in many battles before. They've been hit with gangplanks, 2x4s, and cannonballs, but never have they been slapped silly with salmon, toppled by tilapia, and electrified by eels. Captain Barnacle shouted, "Uh-oh, lads, we're outnumbered! Quickly, run for your lives!" The pirates dropped their favorite fishing net and ran running back to the ship. The ladies waved their fish in victory. The ladies all decided to gather up the fish and pile them up here on the shore so they had something to eat later. And while they were gathering the fish, they had a chance to gather their thoughts. Once every fish had been collected, they headed back to the center of the beach. But they then looked to the left and looked to their right, and then looked at each other weary-eyed, saying, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, what have we got ourselves into? All we wanted was an adventure, and here we are, stranded on a strange island, nearly attacked by pirates. Those sailors have deserted us, and all we have to eat is smelly pirate sushi." The ladies put their heads in their hands. A And just then, out from the mist, what shall appear but a unicorn? She spoke to the ladies' hearts, saying, "Ladies, do not despair, for your sailors have not abandoned you, but they do need your help. They've been enchanted by mermaids. Use the mermaids' one weakness against them, their vanity. Use your mirrors." And with that, the unicorn vanished. The ladies knew what to do. They reached into their purses, pulled out their mirrors, and held them out in front of them towards the sun. And in their sweetest voices, they shouted, "Yoo-hoo! Mermaids!" The mermaids who never heard their names called so sweetly before wiggled down towards the shore. And once they saw the reflections in their mirrors, they were instantly enchanted. They snatched the mirrors from the ladies' hands and began to pucker their lips, bat their eyelashes, and fluff their hair. The mermaids decided to head back to the lagoon to sit upon some rocks and continue basking in their beauty. The ladies followed after the mermaids, but they saw their sailors asleep in the lagoon. They started clapping in front of the sailors' face and shouting, "Wake up, wake up, wake up! You've been enchanted by mermaids! Quickly, follow us and run for your lives!" So the sailors and ladies made a mad dash across Buccaneer Isle. Once they had made it to the other side, they breathed a big sigh of relief. Whew. But who do they see marching forth but Captain Barnacle and his crew? The captain and his crew have marched here to the line. Once they decided to get some snacks and do some encouragement exercises. I already made a white flag of defeat, Captain. Are you so afraid of these little sailors? Because they're just like a pirates all the time. Captain Barnacle then pointed his sword at Cavendish, saying, "Hey, Cavendish, I see you have our bride, and we want them back." Cavendish pulled out his sword and pointed it back at Barnacle, saying, "You're not going to get these ladies back. Ready, sailors? Swords at the ready." Slow motion! Attack! And thus began a great slow motion battle. Steel clashing against steel. Sparks flew. They were so in the match, the ladies decided to jump up and down, cheering, saying, "Go, sailors, go! Go, sailors, go!" The battle lasted long into the night, and as the sun set and the moon rose high into the sky, the mermaids could no longer see their reflections in the mirrors. They placed the mirrors behind them on their rocks. They stood up on their fins and gazed into the lagoon. And then they put their hands on their hips and huffed. "Hey, there's someone took our sailors. Let's go get them back." The mermaids scuttled down to the shore and began to do the lovers' learned song. All the pirates and sailors froze. The arms stuck out in front of them. They all dropped their swords. And in a trance, they were almost in a trance. When the ladies knew what to do, they rushed over to the sailors in blue and covered their ears. After they made sure they had their makeup perfect. But no one covered the ears of the pirates. The pirates, in a trance, followed the mermaids back to the lagoon, dancing along the way. And once there was not a pirate left on the shore, the ladies let go of the sailors' ears. Except for this one pirate who decided to pretend he's a sailor. Alright, sailors, if you want to line up side by side next to my friend, where she was earlier. Stand side by side next to you, Captain Sailors. Ladies, you want to stand side by side by my friend Sadie here? And here comes the very important part of our story. The sailors all lined up, got down on one knee, stood up into the eyes of the lovely ladies, and said this. Sailors, give me your hands at this speaking. Dear lovely ladies of London, twice now you have saved us from those fierce mermaids. And we've been thinking, in all our times of sailing the seas with such a beauty and adventure, never have we found more beauty nor adventure than here with you. So lovely ladies of London, will you please marry us? The ladies put their hands over their hearts and smiled. They took a deep breath, stood on their tippy toes, and said, absolutely not. Sorry, sailors. We've been promised to marry some wealthy noblemen here with you. Sorry, no sorry. Heartbroken, the sailors fall onto their backs and began to cry. The cries were so loud that the pirates heard them. The pirates came running down, waving their arms, shouting, wait, you're making a big mistake. You see, there are no wealthy noblemen. The ladies crossed their arms and said, what do you mean, no wealthy noblemen? Captain Barnacle took a step forward and said, well, it wasn't actually suggestion, my suggestion, it was mainly my idea. And as you can see, we're not wealthy noblemen, we're a bunch of smelly pirates. Anyway, we proposed to the mermaids. Come out here, mermaids. And you know what they said? They said no thank you, but they'll have us over Monday night for Monopoly Monday, so we don't have to feel so lonely. You can marry whoever you want. The ladies turned back to the sailors and said, well, sailors, we still don't want to marry you, but how do you feel about going on more adventures? The sailors sprung to their feet and let out a joyous cheer, for they happily agreed for more adventures. And for the first time in history, Captain Barnacle and Cavendish shook hands in the center of the island. After they did a few drinks. Captain Barnacle then turned to everyone, saying, all right, me mateys, since we're all going to be great friends, it's time I teach you the happy pirate dance. And here's how it goes. You put your right hand on your head, the left hand on your hip, and you start kicking your legs or fins doing a horn piping jig. Now you start to spin around in a circle, going slowly at first, but then you get faster and faster and faster. Now stop, switch arms, switch legs, and spin the other direction. And soon they will all doing their own silly dances. And at the end of the celebration, everyone gathered at the center of Buccaneer Isle. But then they raised their arms up high into the air and let out one last great big cheer. And then they did something strange. With the arms still held up high into the air, they turned to face the audience and bowed to thunderous applause. So that was the end of our story.
Don't touch. Don't touch.
They cost money. They cost money. On the wet lights.
Not, buddy. Not. You got your that's Violet. I was on the phone. Violet, show her.
Oh, the gallons.
What's that?
Hi.
Probably have to see how much I don't
Did I get you?
Tomorrow, we're going to be doing this again.
Yeah.